What's up, guys? It's your boy, Evil Platypus, and today I am bringing you guys the first in a hopefully long series of videos titled Stories by Platypus. A series where I take subscriber suggested topics and I make them into short stories. This series is mostly for people who like they have a lot of good ideas for stories, but they aren't descriptive in their stories, and they don't think they can bring justice to their ideas. Like, I've seen a lot of people in the past have like a really good idea for a short story, and I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to read it, and then after a while I'll remember it and I'll go to look it up, and he did it, and I'm like, oh good, that's awesome, I can read this, or she, no discrimination, and then I'll read it and I just go like, oh, I mean, he could have used a lot more description there. He could have really set the story better. He could have made the characters more interesting. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into making a good story, and while all of this, a good amount of stories without those descriptions can be good, they're not going to be as good or as great as they can be if they learned how to put more descriptive vocabulary into it. And I'm actually a really, really good story writer. I've been told by Face Call and Codename Pizza, as well as a lot of my friends and about 1,000 people on this one app I use for my Undertale stories, that I am really good at making stories. So if you guys have any ideas for a short story that you want to see me write about, let me know in the comments below. Or if you guys like this story and you want to see like a sequel to it, let me know, because the story that I have for you guys today is called A Determined Young Hermit, and it's more of like a prologue to a story than it is like an actual short story. And God, these flies are starting to really annoy me. It's really not all that long, but it's really descriptive. It shows like quick character. Like, it will get you to like this character really quick, in my opinion. It's very descriptive, and it just pretty much, this mostly shows off how well I can write. I made a very short passage to show off my writing skills, so that you guys have an idea of what you would be getting into if you were to ask me to write stories. Now, I'm going to start resuming the gameplay right now. I paused it because I needed like an extra 30 seconds to do one final thing before I actually get into the story. I want to give a huge shout out. I'm going to put the mini map on. There we go. I want to give a huge shout out to, there we go, Ghost Ninja. This gameplay is completely and totally his. I did not get this. He went on my account and played a few games for me. It still says match begins in 1 second. Okay, there we go. So he got this gameplay for me, and then he unlocked my triple plays, and I really want to thank him. He got some incredible gameplays, and this story will not take as long as this gameplay is, but then I have my outro, so it works out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. If you do, I'm going to have a link to this guy's channel down in the description. He is absolutely amazing at Call of Duty, especially Black Ops 3 from what I've seen. And he has 130 subs, so I'm not going to impact him too much, if at all. In fact, some of you guys actually came from him when he shouted me out. So, if you guys aren't subbed to him or don't know him, seriously, check him out. This guy is insane. So without any more delay, I'm going to get right into the short story, and you guys can get right into this gameplay. The light shone through the frost-tinted window as the final traces of snow began melting in the morning sun. Before long, the budding flowers of spring would bloom, and the birds would make their way back to the cozy cabin my father and I lived in. We've been living in isolation for so long, I almost forgot what it's like to have friends, and I found myself thinking back to a time when I could laugh and play with others my age. Unfortunately, Father shunned himself from the rest of the world, and without anyone else to take care of me, I was pretty much forced to tag along. He made his way inside the house, carrying some lumber from the trees he went to chop early on. Looking around the cabin, his gaze passed mine and settled on the fireplace. He walked over and placed the logs beside it, before taking his coat and hat off and throwing them recklessly across the room. Plopping down in his favorite chair in front of the fire, he untied his boots and kicked them off before relaxing in the chair and sighing in frustration. "Is everything alright?" I asked him curiously, watching him closely to make sure it wasn't something I had said or done recently. "Damn axe broken, I don't have the metal to make it again," he grumbled, pulling the broken handle out of his pocket and examining it before tossing it in the pile of wood as well. "I can make my way into town and get a new one for you," I suggested, hopping off the chair I had been sitting in with hopeful glee in my voice and eyes. "Yeah? With what money?" I heard him respond as my expression instantly dropped to that of disappointment. "Right. I forgot about that," I said, coming back into the zoom in, whittling away at some discarded lumber found outside. I was in the process of making a homemade shiv to help fend off small creatures, such as raccoons or snakes. "Besides, you're not old enough to make a take that far. You're still just a child," he teased me, smirking through his beard. I'm not a kid anymore," I said defiantly, turning back in again. I mean, I technically wasn't. I had turned 18 just weeks before. Despite not being in civilization for so long, I made sure to keep track of the days on the sim tent I would ever make my way to town again. "I could make it there easily," I insisted. "Oh, really? Because last time I checked, you were too afraid to step more than 100 feet out of the house. You were hunted out of under your bed covers for 2 days after the last time you left," he reminded me as I thought back to what seemed like eons ago, when it was really just a couple weeks. "That was different. I saw a bear." "Yeah, on the other side of the valley. I was there, remember?" He howled, a smug look etched on his face as he laughed at me. "He looked right at us," I retorted defiantly. Then he turned around and walked away. "Face it, you couldn't make it 3 hours out there on your own, bucko," he continued to wait at me. I sighed and turned back to the table I was sitting at, opting to ignore his mockery. It was like this every day. He still treats me like I was a kid instead of teaching me to fend for myself. How was I supposed to survive out there if anything happened to him? Hell, he hasn't even taught me how to use a bow yet. I looked outside the window and saw the first bird of the year fly by and land on the sill. It was just a small little canary, but it somehow managed to beat the rest of the larger birds back. I smiled as I looked at it, realizing even the smallest members of a group can be the most capable. Looking over to my dad, I saw him staring out the window next to the front door, studying the scenery intently to see if there was any animal he could catch. I looked back to the bird as it began to fly away and mentally waved goodbye to it. I continued to craft my homemade shiv and noticed some movement out of the corner of my eyes, and glanced back out the window to see a stray deer not too far from the cabin. My expression instantly picked up and I smiled with a look of determination in my eyes. Today, I was going to prove to him I'm not as weak as he thinks. Alright, well that is the example of post for this series. It's literally, like I said, just to show you guys how I write, like what my writing style is like, so that you guys can kind of get a feel for it. If you guys like this series, let me know by subscribing. It encourages me to continue doing this stuff. And I really do want to keep doing this because I love writing. Writing is one of my favorite things in the world. It's like an escape from reality where I make my own realities. And I would love to be able to share this with you guys if you want this series to continue. If you guys want to see a continuation to this specific, more of like an intro to a short story, let me know by just saying, hey, can you make a sequel to this in the comments? Something like that. Or if you guys have your own original idea, post it down below. Give me like a general idea for it, and I will craft it from there. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you like it, subscribe. It helps me out a bunch. Like the video or dislike. It makes no difference to me. Leave a comment down below suggesting anything you guys want to see me do in the future, whether it's more from this series, a zombies video, of a real life challenge like the smoothie challenge, the cinnamon challenge, the bean boozer challenge. Those things are all coming and more if you guys want. Or a vlog where I talk about random things asked by you guys or important things going on in life right now, like on the news and shit. And as always, I'll see you next time. Peace out. I low-key want to add in that I don't know why, but even though there's no camera on me, I still did all of the hand movements for the outro. I don't know why, like none of you see it, but I guess it just helps me with the outro. I don't know. That's weird. Whatever. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.